Hello, Monarchs. Welcome to the first video for Unit 3. Unit 3 has a lot to do with graphing inequalities, kind of just inequalities in general. So today we'll be doing lesson 3.1. It is Tuesday, September 14th, or September 15th, rather. And today we're going to be doing lesson 3.1 as well as part of worksheet 3.1. Okay. All right. So today we are graphing and writing inequalities. Inequalities are comparisons of numbers. So if you've ever heard of greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to, those are all inequalities. They're inequalities because they are not equal. They cannot use an equal sign for them. Okay, so our main signs over here are to the left. These are extremely important that we remember these. Okay, so over here, we have that the sign for less than or equal to looks like this. The sign for just less than is very similar. The sign for less than is very similar, but if you guys can see, it does not have that little line underneath it. That line means equal to. So anytime we have our sign with a line underneath it, that means equal to. As you can see, greater than or equal to has the line underneath it, okay? But greater than does not, okay? It's only if it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to that we have that line. And then if we want to say that something is not equal to each other, we do an equal sign and put a little slash through it, just like that, okay? So the way I like to think of these is kind of silly. It's how I learned growing up, and I wanted you guys to think of it as kind of an alligator's mouth, okay? So that's an alligator's mouth. The alligator always wants more food. So the alligator's mouth is always going to point towards the bigger number, okay? So the alligator's mouth is always going to point towards the bigger number. Our sign will always open towards the bigger number, okay? So these rules right here, for less than or equal to, we make an arrow to the left. And for greater than or equal to, we'll make an arrow to the right. And I will show you guys what that looks like during the notes. It'll make more sense, okay? All right, so this is our definition here. It says an inequality is a statement in which two quantities are not equal, right? That's why it's an inequality. Two quantities are not equal. Inequalities are graphed on number lines with an open or closed circle, so open or closed circle, written above a given number on a number line, okay? So that will make more sense kind of when you get into our examples here, but let's take a look first at example 1. Example 1 says, write the inequality in symbols. So symbols are like these, right? These are all of our symbols up here. So we're going to be changing words into numbers and using our inequality symbols now. Okay, so now we're going to be using our inequality symbols. So it says a number less than -4. So I know that for anything that says a number, I'm going to use a variable. So let's make our variable x, okay? Then the biggest part of this is this right here, less than, okay? That is our sign that it wants us to use. So if I did not know what less than was, what I would do is look at my cheat sheet right up here, and I know that it's just this arrow pointing towards the left, right? So less than. Okay, so this is a number less than, and then it says -4. Okay, so all we have to do for this one is write out this inequality, a number less than -4. Okay. Example 2 wants us to write this inequality in words. Okay, so what we really need to look at is what is this symbol. We know what this is, obviously that's a -2, and then we know what we call variables. We know we call variables a number, right? So if we were to write this in words, I would put a number. And then if I did not know what that inequality sign was, if I did not know the name of this arrow pointing to the left with the line in it, I could go up here and just look for it on my sheet. Okay. And it looks like it is right here. That looks very similar. It's the same sign, and that is less than or equal to, right? A number less than or equal to, and then it's -2. So we'd write -2. Okay. So this really reads a number is less than or equal to -2, just like we put a number less than or equal to -2. Okay, so this is the end of the first video. stay tuned for the second.
Thank you, guys.